Hey guys, Friendly Neighborhood Doc here. I just wanted to talk tonight about DC Compact Comics. The first volume that I've picked up is Batman Hush by Jeph Loeb and Jim Lee. So let's take a look at it. Alright guys, so as you can tell, this is smaller than a regular trade paperback or anything like that. Let me get something here for you to take a look and compare and contrast. So there you've got the 1602 trade paperback and Batman Hush. So, pretty compact. Okay, so why are they doing these? One reason they're doing them, I can almost guarantee you, is the price point. It's $10 for the entire 12 issues of Hush. You can't go on eBay and get all 12 issues of Hush, the regular issues, for $10. So it's in a small, compact form. It covers the entire series. Just look at that Jim Lee art. Way back in 2002 when he still was at the very top of his game. So it says here on the back, it collects all 12 issues from 608 through 619 and the interlude from Wizard issue 0. So Hush is one of those classic stories from DC. I'm trying to get this glare off of it. Hush is one of those classic stories from DC where Jeph Loeb introduces a new villain to the Batman's Rogues Gallery, and it turns out to be an old family friend. Actually, an old friend of Bruce's. But he doesn't know at the beginning who this is. But this character brings a world of chaos down on top of an already weary Batman. And it builds upon the Dark Knight detective. Because he has to figure out who is this that's causing all of this grief to, Scott Snyder uses the term the Bat Family. And I get that. But I don't really like using that term because it seems generic. It seems like anybody could be a member of the Bat family. And I don't want to think about it as such. I want to think about it as his compatriots. I want to think about it as his generals and his fellow warriors. Because that's what Batman is at the end of the day. He is a Dark Knight detective, but he's also a warrior. He is a human at the peak of human physical ability, because he's trained himself to be such. But you get these amazing visuals of Batman and Catwoman going through the city. A lot of these could have been posters by themselves. And that's the cover to 609, I believe. It's Poison Ivy and Catwoman. But what I wanted to point out about these, you don't really lose any of the artwork in this particular volume. Now, I've heard other volumes where the art pretty much bleeds right into the corner, that you might lose a little bit of that. But in this volume, I haven't noticed that. I haven't noticed that, that you really have to work at it to see what's going on. Maybe that one panel right there, now that I've turned to it. But that one panel with the Daily Planet, it seems a little bit crushed in. But everything else, it doesn't look difficult to me. It doesn't look like they've downsized the artwork to the point where you can't appreciate it. And for something like that, that's what Jim Lee is all about, appreciating the line work, the artwork. And as much as I do like Todd McFarlane, I have to say that Jim Lee's figures and character work is much stronger than McFarlane is, simply because he was going to med school, so he learned how to sketch how to sketch the body in a appropriate manner. He can still do a disproportionate body if he wants to, but his characters look extremely realistic. They look like they could walk off the page. So I'm really happy with this volume. I can't wait to sit down and read it in its entirety. But I think this is a good format. And the only thing that I can compare it to is I want to say that Marvel has started doing the Marvel Mighty Masterworks series. And they're about the same price point. But to me, this seems much more polished. You've got the DC logo at the top. You've got the Compact Comics, and it says mystery. So it's a mystery of who Hush is until you figure that out later on in the story. And then on here, you've got your SKU code, your UPC code. Tells you how much it is clearly, your ISBN number. Everything seems to flow. And to me, the Marvel Mighty Masterworks, that's a mouthful, seems rushed, and it's garish. They haven't really thought through the trade dress as such. And so to me, it looks more like it's set for kids. And this doesn't look like it's set for kids at all. This looks like Batman is about to, take somebody on and wear them out. So, if you've never read Hush, they've also got Kingdom Come is coming next year. They've also got All-Star Superman, which I greatly, greatly appreciate, by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely, as one of the greatest Superman stories ever told. They've got Green Lantern Far Sector. There's a Wonder Woman book. But I would say if you wanted to start out and you'd never read DC before and you wanted to get into the main characters, I would try the Batman Hush volume. I would try Kingdom Come when it comes out. I would try Watchmen. And then I would try All-Star Superman. And that will get you the main stories that you really should focus on to see if you like superhero comics. If you've never read a superhero comic before, these will be the ones that will get you into that. I don't know that they're going to do Superman for all seasons, but if they ever did that, that would be well worth picking up for $10. That's by Jeff Loeb, and the artwork is by Tim Sale, who's unfortunately passed on. But for right now, I would say Batman definitely is bang for the buck. And for this first impression, for this first consultation, you could say, for Doc, then I would have to definitely say that this is a contender for something that you should read. That's going to be the new series that I'm coming out with, is I'm going to call it Initial Assessment. Because I'm going to assess, in this case, whether or not the book, it fits on the shelf nicely. It's small, it's compact, it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, but you still get a big enough format that you can enjoy the artwork. But I'm going to assess new number one books. I'm going to assess new types of formats as they come out and see whether they're worth you checking out. So I don't know how many new number ones I'm going to pick up every single week. Hopefully, one every couple of weeks to start with. I'm trying to pare my list down, folks, but at the same time, I want to always bring you creative content that you enjoy and that teaches you something and helps you get more into the medium. If you're already into the medium, I want to teach you something and let you find something that you read that you love, something that brings joy to you. And on the other hand, I want to talk about the new books that are coming out that you might have missed, like When Something is Killing the Children came out, or when Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees came out. The Cull. There's a ton of these books out there. Black Cloak. I thoroughly enjoyed Black Cloak. Did anybody else read Black Cloak from Image? A lot of people said the McLaren artwork was childlike and they just didn't dig on it. but I thought it was a really interesting story. And I'm not a huge Kelly Thompson fan. I haven't read a whole lot of her work, so I guess I shouldn't say I'm not a fan. I just haven't read a whole lot of her work. But that one, to me, is very strong. By the way, issue 7 comes out, and they've already had a trade come out with the first 6 issues. But issue 7 of Black Cloak returns this week into comic shops. So if you hadn't had a chance and you want to check out something different, check that book out. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about the DC Comic series, the compact series. Are you going to collect it? Are you going to check it out? For $10, a lot of these books you can't miss. You just can't. Batman Hush, All-Star Superman. Like I said, Kingdom Come is a big one. I've already got it in a not the slipcase, but I've actually got it in a hardcover that I absolutely love. I might pick it up in the compact series just so that I have a version of it that I can read without doing any damage to that hardcover. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first impressions, an assessment. So, like I said, we're going to call this first assessment. And I hope you enjoyed this first assessment, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.